Hi everyone, I'm Nina and welcome to my channel where I post weekly tutorials, art vlogs, art experiments for you to enjoy and improve your skills. And in this video, I will draw a realistic eye with makeup using graphite pencils. Remember that your likes, comments, subscriptions do really help my channel and it's the best way to say thank you to me. So please consider doing that and let's start the tutorial. Before we get started on drawing a realistic eye with makeup, here's an introduction to the materials I will be using. If you don't have the exact same materials, you can still get a cool result following this tutorial. I'll be using A2H, B, 2B, 4B pencils for this eye. Basically, you can get away with much less if you just focus on your pressure control. I'll also be using a black colored pencil and an eraser. In this case, I will be using a kneadable eraser and a pencil eraser, but again, less will do fine as long as you apply yourself. Last but not least, I will be using a makeup brush as a blending tool. You can also use a tissue, a cotton bud, or make your own blending tool following the tutorial on my channel. Oh, one more thing. And this doesn't have to be in your pencil case. I am using a white jelly roll to add wetness and glitter effects in the end. That's it, let's get started! First, I'm drawing a circle. When sketching, I use the hard pencil and the light pressure. This is going to be our eyeball that we will later cover with eyelids. If you don't know how, I actually have a tutorial on drawing a perfect circle too. It doesn't have to be perfect as the sketch guidelines will be erased later, but try to get it as round as possible. I'm dividing the eye into four, like if I was cutting a cake, and adding a second circle that will be the iris. The second circle is about half size of the eyeball circle. Try taking a look in the mirror. Your iris is in fact half the size of your eyeball. Well, maybe it's a bit smaller, but it's better to get it a little too big than a little too small, you know. And after that, I'm adding the pupil. Again, look yourself in the mirror or check references to find the size. I can tell you that the pupil changes size in different lighting scenarios. Here, I'll just sketch a normal sized pupil. If you want to learn how to draw a realistic eye, it's important that you study realism. When you practice, it's okay to make mistakes while drawing the proportions, but you also have to know a little about how a realistic eye looks to be able to depict it on paper. After the pupil, I add the eyelids. You can think of the eye as an almond or avocado shape-wise. Just remember that the upper lid covers the iris, whereas the lower lid doesn't. Not getting this right can make the eye look shocked or aroused. I guess you can try it out if you want a dramatic effect, lol. Parallel to the eyelid lines, I am adding two more lines. Those are the lash lines, where we will add the eyelashes later. I'm going to pause the video here. Let's take a look at how eyes look in real life. You don't have to study the detail, just notice that the eye consists of an eyeball with iris and pupil covered with lids, and then lash lines and lines defining the lid covering the eye. And then, of course, eyebrows. Back to our eye. I'm adding the lashes on the lash lines, and frankly, I'm not being super careful where I place them right now. Remember that this sketch is only a guide to when we start rendering the details of this realistic eye. I'm also adding eyebrows. The eyebrows are a little longer than the eye. They curve upwards from between the eyes and then sideways and down towards the side of our face. And the sketch of our realistic eye with makeup is done. Let's erase the guidelines and move on to the next step. If you want to become really good at drawing, you should check out my homepage where I gathered all my tutorials into 2 completely free art courses. One course is about realism and another one is about how to draw like Disney. Check them out, guys, they're really awesome and I'm sure you will learn a lot of cool things by watching them. First, I'm adding a reflection to the eye. I'm adding a round Hollywood or blogger style reflection for a dramatic effect. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of famous actors, bloggers, I don't know, singers oftentimes get their pictures taken with this round reflection because it's basically a round lamp or just a camera flash. Anyways, we will steal this effect for our eye here. I'm also filling out the pupil with my black colored pencils. And next, I'm using a softer pencil for coloring the iris. If you want to know more about my everyday life, about what I draw, how I make my YouTube videos, behind the scenes, about my commissions, funny stories and everything, check out my Insta page, everything is in there. Here it is, and I hope to see you there. To smoothen it out, I'm using my blending brush to shade and blend it. The iris is always darker at the edges, and because the eyelids usually cast a shadow from above, it's also darker below the lash line. Be aware of your pressure control and give it an even layer. Basically, it's better to do too little than to try and finish it fast. Patience is key, remember this. It's a key to a beautiful result. message for the ones who want to save a few bucks but still get a cool blending tool, blending stump actually. I have a tutorial on how to create your own blending stump at home, and everything you need is just like a piece of paper and a tape. That's it. So if you want to get like a really cool blending tool, check out that tutorial. The link will be in the description among all the other helpful links, and it will pop up in your corner or there. I don't remember right now. Next, I'm working on the iris pattern. I do that by drawing lines coming out from the edges and the pupil. Again, it's important to work slowly. Try to really feel what you're doing here. I'm sure it will give your eye a really realistic expression. They do say the eye is the window to our soul. Do you guys agree? I do agree with this. To really make the eye pop, I'm using my pencil eraser to pull out lighter lines. It really helps create depth and realism to the eye. If you have a normal eraser, you need to use the edge of the eraser to get this pencil effect. It usually helps if you cut off a little from one side. With the iris getting closer to being done, I'm moving on to drawing up the sketch lines and really getting into defining the shape of the eye. I'm also using the leftover graphite from my brush to shade the cornea, better known as the whites of the eye. Also, the tear duct is defined, and by using the pencil eraser, I can also add a little wetness and shape to those tear glands in the very corner. This is where your tears will come from if you don't have enough patience to get a nice result from this tutorial. Just kidding, guys. I hope you make it. I believe you can do it, and I'll even support you. Just ask me in the comment section if you have any questions you need answers for, because I try to answer as many questions as possible. It's time to move on to the eyelids. I'm filling in the upper lash lines using an H or 2B pencils. I am still aware of my pressure control and blend in between. And this is my favorite part of the process because as a person who likes doing makeup in real life, I also like drawing it. So this time, as you saw from the name of this video, it's going to be with makeup. So I already know it's going to be with like this dark, heavy, glamorous makeup, and in the end I will add some glitters by using a white jelly roll. It's some kind of a trick that I don't know if I can say if I invented that, but I definitely came to it like myself. I didn't see it anywhere else, and I still use it because it's a really cool trick. So this is where we're going to blend a lot, so I hope your blending tool is ready. It's because just like in real life, when you're blending your eyeshadows, you are trying to make this perfect transition and blend the entire lid, you know. This is exactly what we're going to do here. So we're going to blend every single layer of graphite. And I'm also making the lid darker on the upper lid, darker on the bottom. I mean, this lash line is going to be darker. So keep that in mind and just try to create a very, very, very smooth layer of graphite. This is what will make it look realistic as well. So basically, I started with using a hard pencil. It can be 2H or HB. Then I was blending it, and slowly I was taking softer pencils because basically softer means darker. And slowly I'm getting this darkness and smoothness at the same time. And when I really need something super dark, I'm using a black pencil. I'm using it mostly for the upper lash line and just for the darkest areas such as like a crease and lashes, but the lashes will be a little bit later. I'm also filling in the lower lash line and then moving to the skin around the eye, applying an even layer using a B pencil. And of course, I am blending before adding a new layer of shading. Learning how to get this 3D feeling is about practicing this process over and over again while studying references. Shade, blend, rinse, repeat. At this stage, I'm shading the skin around the eye and basically drawing the actual makeup. I think I need to say a few words about makeup for the ones who really know nothing about it. First of all, no matter what kind of makeup you do, you need to blend it really, really well. You really need to make this effort to blend the eyeshadows really well so you wouldn't see those like hard edges. And of course, we're going to do it on the paper as well. So we are going to blend that skin very well after each layer of graphite, just like when we were filling in the upper lid. Also, I think most people who do makeup will agree with me if I say that we shade the outer corner of the eye a little bit darker, so we apply dark shadows there. And this is what I'm going to do here as well. I do it in real life and I'll do it on the paper. So I'm starting really, really light and then I'm just blending it super well, and slowly I'm making it darker and darker. I'm gonna speed it up here because there is absolutely no need to see this blending process because it's basically blending process. I'm just applying some graphite and then blending and blending and blending till I'm satisfied with the results. You can do it as dark or as much as you want to. If you want like soft makeup, soft glam, you're just doing it a little. If you want some smoky eyes, you're just really using a black pencil. So I'm basically, as I said, just doing as much as I think I should. That's it. Enjoy watching it, guys. At this stage, I decided to add some lashes, but we're not done with shading the lids yet. It's just at this moment, I think it's better to add some lashes. The bigger the eyelashes, the more glamorous they look. But be careful to not take it too far if you want to keep it realistic. The lashes are not straight and sit in bundles along the lash line. Eyelashes can be a big challenge for a lot of people, so they asked me to do a tutorial on this, and I did. You can find it on the channel. If you watch it, you will be a lash drawing expert, I promise. Also, all the links to other tutorials or to other helpful videos will be in the description, so check that section as well. Also, a small tip is to line them up like this before you add more. It gives you a general overview of which direction and curvature they have, and you can basically fill in the other lashes using that as a guide. Remember that the lower lashes are thinner and smaller. So now it looks a lot better with the lashes, at least I think so. I hope you guys agree with me. And now I'm using my kneadable eraser to pull out the highlights. Here I am using my pencil eraser to create some skin texture. Yeah, actually it's pretty cool to use eraser to imitate the skin texture because, you know, our skin isn't smooth as plastic. It actually has some texture and wetness to consider. And for a full wetness effect, I'm using a white gel pen or a white jelly roll to really make this drawing pop. Glitterly skin like this can either be actual glitter applied as makeup or because the eye is receiving a lot of stage light. Either way, it looks very Hollywood-ish or Bollywood if you're Indian. And I forgot to mention, white lines following the eyelids can also make the eye look wet and realistic. Now I am moving on to the eyebrows. The eyebrow hairs grow up, then sideways, and then slightly down. First I use a hard pencil and then I blend. Second, I add more hairs using a softer pencil and a bit more pressure, and I basically just continue this process until the eyebrow area is populated with hair and looks realistic. Again, you guys can use a reference or study yourself in the mirror to get the drawing right. Oh, or watch my tutorial on eyebrows. Yep, I have it too. In case if you didn't know, it's on my channel in the tutorial playlist or below this video. So this is the finished result. I hope you like it and I hope you got a cool result yourself. And this is the end of my tutorial. I'm sure you did great. If you want to show me your result, use this hashtag on Instagram and I'll probably check it out. If you have any questions, you're very welcome to ask them in the comment section down below. I personally try to answer as many questions and comments as possible, so go ahead. And see you in the next tutorial, guys. Bye!